All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Baal Shem, Yahweh Shai, Baal Shem, Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. Salutations to all the hopeful elect pushing out this word in sincerity and in truth. It's your brother Quad from the DC camp coming back at you with another lesson, and I'm entitled this one, Music Therapy. Okay? And music therapy was actually found, is actually found in the scriptures, man. You know, and they actually use music therapy today, you know, based upon like evidence, you know, trials that show that it has its uses and purposes, you know, and it can be you know, it can be therapeutic to a certain individual, man. You actually got credential professionals who you know, who do this, all right, as a profession, you know. And they use music, man, you know, to address certain physical, emotional, you know, needs, you know. And like I said, this is found in the scriptures, man. All right. So what I'm gonna do is first I'm gonna get the word. Well, music is anything, you know, instruments, you know, that create sound and melody, you know. But therapy, I got the etymology. It says from 1846, medical treatment of disease. From modern Latin therapia, from Greek therapia, curing, healing, service done to the sick. All right, and your mind can be sick. Okay, if you have demons on you, them spirits is in your mind. Okay, and that word comes from therapies, it's treatment of illness. Because remember the scripture said, "Give me any plague, but the plague of the mind or sickness of the mind." Okay, and all of our people were sick. So this is on a spiritual level, but also on a physical level. Okay, let me get the first, because we got a few examples in the scriptures where, you know, there was therapeutic um, uh, singing or songs was therapeutic. The first and the main one that I wanted to focus on is King David and King well, David and King Samuel. Okay, this is First Samuel 16, and I'm going to start from uh, this is First Samuel 16 verse 17. It says, "And Saul said unto his servants, Provide me now a man that can play well, and bring him to me. Then answered one of the servants and said, Behold, I have seen the son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite, that is cunning in playing, and a mighty valiant man, and a man of war, and prudent in matters, and a comely person, and Yahweh is with him. Wherefore Saul sent messengers unto Jesse and said, Send me David thy son, which is with the sheep. And Jesse took an ass laden with bread and a bottle of wine and a kid, and sent them by David his son unto Saul. And David came to Saul and stood before him, and he loved him greatly, and he became his armor bearer. And Saul sent to Jesse, saying, Let David, I pray thee, stand before me, for he hath found favor in my sight. And it came to pass, when the evil spirit from the Most High was upon Saul, that David took an harp and played with his hand. So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him." So let me get that word refreshed. Okay. Rawak. It says rawak. And it says to be wide, be spacious, to breathe easily, be relieved. Okay? So that music relieved Saul when he was being plagued by the evil spirit that was in his mind. You see? David's music was his psychic, or not psychic, physic, like physician, which is like medicine. You see? Music Music has a natural music has the power to change someone's mood, man. It has a natural tendency to compose you, in certain situations. I play sports. We used to play when we played basketball to prepare for our game. We would just listen to certain music to get us in the right mindset. You know, hey, when you used to go to clubs, they play certain music. It'll get you hype. It'll get you in boxing. They listen to certain music, get them prepared for a fight, man. Or when you want to study, you put on certain different instrumentals, man. It's all about, it changes your mood, man. Okay, um, which brings me to my second one. This is Second Kings 3. I'm not gonna make this too long. This is 2 Kings 3 in verse. Oh man, where should I start? Well, this is when just to give you the back, because I want to get straight to the point, but so you get the back understanding of the story. You know, is when Elisha wanted to. Who was it? It was the king of Shoot, man, I might have to read the whole thing. I can't remember the exact names, but I'm not gonna read the whole thing. All right, so let me just start. I'm gonna start from the top and I'm gonna read quickly. This is 2 Kings 3 and verse. No. Yeah, it was the king of Moab. All right. All right, this is 2 Kings 3, verse 7. It says, "And he went and sent to Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, saying, The king of Moab hath rebelled against me. Wilt thou go with me against Moab to battle? And he said, I will go up. I am as thou art, my people as thy people, and my horses as thy horses." So this was the king of Judah and the king of Israel. And Jehoshaphat was the king of Judah. It says, "And he said, which way shall we go up? And he answered, The way through the wilderness of Edom. So the king of Israel went, and the king of Judah, and the king of Edom. And they fetched a compass of 7 days' journey, and there was no water for the host and for the cattle that followed. So the king of Judah, the king of Edom, and the king of Israel all went to fight against Moab." It says, "And the king of Israel said, Alas, that Yahweh have called these 3 kings together to deliver them into the hands of Moab," because they didn't have any water. So they were saying, is the Lord going to deliver us to die to the king of Moab? Verse 11, "But Jehoshaphat said, Is there not here a prophet of Yahweh, that we may inquire of Yahweh by him? And one of the king of Israel's servants answered and said, Here is Elisha the son of Shaphat, which poured water on the hands of Elijah. And Jehoshaphat said, The word of Yahweh is with him. So the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat and the king of Edom went down." Yeah, Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah. It says, "And Elisha said unto the king of Israel, What have I to do with thee? Get thee to the prophets of thy father and to the prophets of thy mother." And the king of Israel said unto him, "Nay, for Yahweh have called these 3 kings together to deliver them into the hand of Moab." And Elisha said, "As Yahweh of hosts liveth, before whom I stand, surely were it not that I regard the presence of Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, I would not look toward thee nor see thee." So Elisha was troubled in his spirit because of the king of Jehoram. All right, he was a wicked king, man. So he needed that music. Or was about to get to. He was disturbed. He was angry. He said, if it wasn't for Jehoshaphat, he wouldn't stand before those 2 kings. You know, the king of the king of Israel and the king of Edom, because you know, fuck Edom, but the king of Israel, he was being wicked, man. You know, so this is what it's gonna say. It says, verse 15. But now bring me a minstrel, and it came to pass when the minstrel played that the hand of Yahweh came upon him. So after that, you know, after the minstrel, which let me get the definition of that, or the Hebrew. Oh man, I got the wrong scripture. Salaki. This is verse 15. The word minstrel is nagan, meaning to play or strike strings, play a stringed instrument. All right. So it says, so after he got that, then he was able to receive. He had calmed his spirit, and he was able to receive the message from the Lord on what they should do. You know, and I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but if you want to read that story, you'll get it. You know, you had instances when what is it? Paul and Silas was in prison in Acts the 16th chapter. You know, they sung songs. You know, imagine you was in jail. You sing songs to lessen that tension, that mental anguish that you're going through. The slaves, or we, when we were slaves, we sung songs, man, to give us hope. You know, hey, you see on the movie the Titanic. On the Titanic, they, when it was sinking, they was singing, man, to calm their nerves, man. Or if you simply watching, what is it? You watching a movie or a show, and they play certain music to change your moods, man. Music is powerful. Okay, and you just seen it in those few instances, man. The couple instances, it's in a few more instances throughout the scriptures. But like I said, I'm gonna keep this short. But ultimately, that's what we doing, man. The spiritual. When we singing that song, it has the power to get those spirits off of Jake, man. We singing the Lord song, the spiritual songs, man. We playing the true instruments, and we preparing our people to the battle. This is matter of fact, let me get that. 1 Corinthians 14 verse 7, it says, and even things without life giving sound, whether pipe or harp, except they give a distinction in the sounds, how shall it be known what is piped or harped? For if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle? So you have certain songs or certain sounds that will let somebody know the enemy's in there. It'll get your attention. It's a form of communication. You know. So you, and when we sing in this song, we got a specific sound. Okay, that the elect is going to hear. But see, the majority of our people, they're not going to hear this beautiful song that we playing. This is Luke 7:32. It says they are like, or it says, let me get it, because I think I want a scripture up. This is Luke 7:31. It says, and the Lord said, whereunto then shall I liken the men of this generation, and to what are they like? They are like unto children sitting in the marketplace and calling one to another, and saying, we have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned to you, and ye have not wept. All right. And it says, for John the Baptist came neither eating nor drinking, nor drinking wine, not eating bread nor drinking wine, and ye say he have a devil. The Son of Man is come eating and drinking, and ye say, behold, a gluttonous man and a winebibber, a friend of the publicans and sinners. But wisdom is justified of her children. But see, they don't have the wisdom, man. Proverbs 17 verse 16, it says, wherefore is there a price in the hand of a fool to get wisdom, seeing he have no heart to it. And it's just like now, you got people they don't like certain music, man, because their mind is geared towards dumbed down music. They're not on the same vibration, man, and that's how our people are. You know, their minds are into this world and not into. They don't have a heart to this truth because they've been blinded. This is Isaiah 28 and 9. It says, "Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will we speak to this people, to whom he said, This is the rest wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest. And this is the refreshing." Remember that word refreshing from what King Saul, man. And this is the song that we playing. But it says this, "Yet they would not hear. But the word of Yahweh was unto them precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little and there a little, that they might go and fall backward and be broken and snared and taken." You see? Cause they hate this song, man. It's like a song that they don't want to hear. But this is ultimately the that's the refreshing, man. When you hear this, you know, and ultimately, the prophets was the ones that was singing and doing it, and the Lord was the orchestrator, and the prophets was the one singing that song. So ultimately, we are those musicians, man. And you know, and when we deal with particular types of troubled spirits, man, we gotta know what notes to play and what songs to hit, and it's the scriptures. But I just wanted to get in one example of what I'm saying. When Saul was about to be the king, he was given 3 signs. Let me find it real quick. This is 1 Samuel 10 and verse 5. It says, "After that thou shalt come to the hill of God, of the Most High, where is the garrison of the Philistines. And it shall come to pass, when thou art come thither to the city, that thou shalt meet a company of prophets coming down from the high place with the psaltery and the tabret and the pipe and the harp before them, and they shall prophesy. And the spirit of Yahweh will come upon thee, and thou shalt prophesy with them, and shalt be turned into another man." You see, and they was at the high place where they worshiped the Lord, man. But they was singing. That's why even in Psalms, man, with King David, who was the first one we was talking about, they sung these songs. All right? It's all spiritual, man. Ezekiel 33 and 32, it says, "And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that have a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument, for they hear thy words, but they do them not." So that's what it's like when we out there doing it, you know. But when this stuff comes to pass, lo, that they shall know that a prophet was among them. So it's usually the prophets that's doing this, man. And we singing these songs to one another to ease our spirits, man. You know, to keep the evil spirits off of our mind. Ephesians 5 and verse 19 says, "Speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord." Like when King David was playing the instrument, he was probably singing, man, as a musician. A lot of us love music, man. And I know in my domicile, it's going to be music and wine, man, and women, you know. But definitely music, man. And that's why we hate the music of today. You know, the effect of music in soothing the mind is highly regarded in the East, man, where we from. And in the ancient prophets, they practiced it, man. Before that, you know, doing some of their work, just like you seen with Elisha. All right. But what is it? Because I want to get this. It's this. I was looking it up. It says, "It is a pity that music, which may be so serviceable to the good temper of the mind, should be abused by any to support of vanity and luxury, and made an occasion of drawing the heart away from the Most High and serious things. If this be any the effect of it, it drives away the good spirit, not the evil. So music used to be in the scriptures used to drive away the evil spirit, man, when you playing the right songs. But see, this music now is trying to drive away the good spirit and put the evil spirits on you, man. All right, and that's why this is this quote that I wanted to get from Confucius. It says, "If one should desire to know whether a kingdom is well governed, if its morals are good or bad, the quality of its music will furnish the answer." You know, and you know somebody what type of person they is by the music they like to listen to, man. You know, and Esau, he studied us, he studied our culture, and he reverse engineered us, man. You know, so it's good to get back to the real music, man. All right. So like music has its effects, man, and that's why you got to know what to fuel or feed your mind. And this is a part of it. All right. So Lord willing, that was an edifying lesson. That's just something I thought was interesting. I remember we was at camp, and I was just thinking of that story, and the Rosh Shah Kassab. I was like, dang, he's a beautiful magician out there, man. It was Jake. He was kind of like bucking up at first, but just the way, the Shah was playing them notes, if you will, hitting them scriptures, doing it with salt, because we are the salt of the earth. You know what I'm saying? And Jake calmed down. Spirit calmed down, man. He listened. He stayed for most of the whole camp. And that's how we have to be out here, man. So, hey, with that, like I said, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. Until the next one, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rakakadash. I want to say Shalom.